Well, I'm joined now by the former England and Liverpool player, a legend, John Barnes. Very good to talk to you, John. So,
good to talk to you too.
Hey, an honour for me. A step closer. They're training, contact training again, the players. The safety systems are in place. Extensive testing is happening. Do you think it is actually going to happen? June the 19th being penciled in.
Well, I don't know whether June the 19th is going to happen, but just for the very fact that they are now training, and of course it was first socially distancing, now there's going to be contact. So, of course, the next step would be to get back into matches. But as to whether the date is going to be June the 19th, we don't really know. But it's glad to see that they're moving in the right direction and getting back into training.
Yeah, have you been talking to any of the players? Do you know, do they still have concerns? There were some players, not from Liverpool that I noticed, though, that said, well, you know, I'm still concerned about perhaps taking it home to my family. Do you think that particularly the extensive testing has allayed those fears?
Well, of course, Troy Deeney is probably the most high-profile one who said he has concerns because he's got a young child. But, of course, individuals may have those concerns, not just in football, but when time comes for everybody to go back to work, be you a milkman, whenever it is, and it's decided that your industry is going to go back, there will be individuals who may decide that they aren't prepared to do that. And football is no different. So I know Troy is one, and there are one or two others. As to whether they start to play again, we don't know. But what has to happen is that the authorities, along with the guidance of the experts and the government, have to make a decision as to when they're going to go back. Then if individuals choose not to, you have to respect their wishes as well.
OK, and as fans, we, of course, both hope it does happen. What about this issue of atmosphere, though? I'm sure you, like me, have been watching the Bundesliga, the German top league, and my goodness me, they do feel like training games without a crowd there.
Well, it's not perfect, but these are, these are times which we've never seen before. And of course, if you want perfection in terms of full stadiums, you may have to wait 6 months, a year, we don't really know. But if you want to get back to playing as quickly and as safely as possible, you're going to have to go through the situation whereby you're going to have to play in front of empty stadiums without then complaining that there's no atmosphere. You can't have it both ways. If you want to get back early and safely, we'll have to go back with empty stadiums and hope that as time goes on, we'll be able to reassess the situation later on.
And it'd be nice for Liverpool, won't it? I mean, you know, the way they have won, and it is won the Premier League, it has to be confirmed by a few more points, but the way they've played this season, I mean, personally, you would feel it, you know, rather cheated, maybe even. Is that too strong a word to say, if the season was not finished and the Liverpool were not officially crowned?
Well, it's not just about Liverpool. You've got Leeds who want to come up from the Championship and West Brom or Fulham. And teams are going to be relegated as well. I think for the integrity of the sport and integrity of competition, the winner should win. The bottom three should go down. The top three in the leagues below should come up. So, yes, it'd be great for Liverpool, but I just think more in terms of the integrity of competition, we have to adhere to the normal season in terms of trying to play out the season.
But no victory parade, of course, if it does happen. What, though, about this issue, and again, it's coming from Germany, without that crowd there, the sense that there isn't really any home advantage?
Well, the home advantage doesn't just come from the fact that you are playing in front of 40,000 of your own fans. It's the drive to the stadium. It's the dressing rooms. It's the familiarity around the ground, in the players' lounge. You know, just the routines you go through, which you go through every other week in home, rather than the away team who comes there once a year. So, yes, home advantage is about the crowd, but it's also about the familiarity about your surroundings, which there will be a small advantage that the home teams do have.
And what about fitness? I mean, so they've had a long layoff. We know they all stay fit, but it's not the same, I'm told, obviously you know I don't, as actually playing week in, week out. So they're trying to get match fit again. And then we have the potential at this point, the Premier League finishing, those that are in the European competitions, well, we haven't heard from UEFA yet, perhaps playing those as well. Even the FA Cup, we haven't actually heard about that. Then there's next season, which again, we haven't heard about a delay there, middle of August, back into a new season, on into the Euros. I mean, you know, they can't, I mean, something's got to give, has it not?
Well, first of all, they're not going to be unfit because, of course, modern players stay fit the whole year round. Secondly, if they start this season once again, they'll play 9 to 10 games, which means come the end of the season, which is only 9 to 10 games, they won't be tired because they've only played 10 games. So I don't see why they can't straight go back into the next season or the Euros having only played 10 games. So they're not going to be tired. They won't need a rest as if it's the end of the season, so you need 2 months off. They can play the 9, 10 games to finish the season. Obviously, 1 or 2 weeks to whoever's been promoted, who's been relegated, players' contracts, and then go straight into the next season, rather than, saying it's the end of the season, we have to have 2 months off before next season. You just continue playing. There's only been 9 games gone.
John, sorry, we've got to stop. Just been told. Could talk to you all night. Thank you very much indeed. John Barnes there, the legend.
Pleasure. Thank you.